What's up guys, Syiler here, and we are back with more Warlords of Draenor content, this time taking a look at Garrisons. So, first of all, what are Garrisons? Well, they're Blizzard's answer to player housing, with a twist. So, we've all wanted player housing for a long time, and they've implemented Garrisons for the new expansion. And these are going to be basically bases that are unique to you, they're your own private area that you'll be able to see. No one else will be able to see them unless you want them to see them. You'll be able to customize it how you want, be able to put things in it how you want it, have followers how you want, name them how you want. There's so many things that you can do and customize with your own little base. And it's a great idea that I'd imagine they'll be able to adapt on and you know, go forward with in the future and make it like a really awesome thing as we go along. So first of all, where will your garrison actually be? Well, that depends on where you want it to be. There's going to be multiple zones that you're going to be allowed to put your garrison in, such as Nagrand. It can be in maybe Talador, it could be in maybe Shadowmoon Valley. I don't know, they haven't confirmed which zones it's going to be allowed to be in, but I'd imagine the vast majority of them you'll be able to put it in. Now there are a couple of restrictions to this, such as you can't put it anywhere you want within the zone. There'll be a set location. So for example, in Shadowmoon Valley it could be set to the north, or in Nagrand it could be set to the south. Like, there'll be a set location that you'll have to put your base. You can't just put it wherever you want and put it right next to like an important raid entrance or something along those lines. But apart from that, you can pick which zone you want it to be. And they've also mentioned later down the line, say you are bored of the zone or you want to move it somewhere else, you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to just take your current base with all the buildings that you've currently got and move it to somewhere else. Obviously there'll be some kind of cost or penalty behind that, but it'll be something you'll have the option to do. So that's awesome. I mean, whichever zone is your favourite, you'll be able to have your base set up and be there. And outside of that, you'll be able to invite your friends to see your base. They've not really said if there's a limit, but I believe they said you could have 40 people, like as many people as you can get in a raid, you can bring to your base. So you'll be able to use that for like parties and things like that. And no one will be able to see your base unless you invite someone to a party, and then they'll be able to see it. Now, outside of that as well, if you're in the zone, say, doing a daily, and you're kind of close to your garrison, you'll be able to see your garrison in the distance. It won't kind of zone in once you get right on top of it. It'll be there, and it'll always be there in the area. Obviously, no one else will be able to see it, but you will be able to, and it'll be, it'll feel like you've had an impact on the zone. And there'll be no loading screens or anything like that. You'll just be able to fly straight into your garrison, and there'll be no sort of delay or loading screen, or it won't be like a full phased sort of thing. Not like the tillers, it won't be like a little area that you walk into and then it suddenly all changes. Now, how the garrisons will work: when you first get your garrison, you'll get a town hall, and the town hall can be upgraded 3 times. There'll be the level 1, level 2, and level 3. The level 1 will be obviously the more basic garrison. You'll have a limited amount of plots that you can put buildings on. It's the small basic garrison. Then level 2, it gets slightly bigger, the town looks a bit more fancier, and it grows in size. And then level 3 is the max level. You'll have all the plots unlocked, and you'll be able to go wild and do whatever you want with your garrison. Now, even at level 3, that won't be enough plots for you to put all the buildings. So you still will have to make some sort of educated decisions on what buildings you actually want in your base, and where you want them to be and things like that. So in terms of the buildings, there'll be 3 different types of plots. There'll be a small plot, a medium plot, and a large plot. On the small plots, you can put an alchemy lab, a smith, enchanter's study, engineering workshop, a scribe's office, a salvage yard, a storehouse, a tailoring studio, a jewel crafting, and a tannery. So they're basically all professions, and you're going to be able to use the small plots to put down professions that you might not have had access to. Say for example you're a level worker / skinner, and you need access to an engineer. You'll be able to put down the engineer plot, and you'll have limited access to basically the engineering profession. So it's going to give you access to professions that you might not have had previously. On top of that, there'll be some default plots, such as a mine. And the mine will be usable by a follower, and I'll talk about followers a little bit later on. But basically you'll be able to send a follower into the mine, and he'll go mine the mine and give you like ore and materials. So in terms of the medium buildings, there'll be a pet stable, a trading post, a lumber mill, a barn, an inn, a pet stable, which will let you breed pets, and there's also a trainer to fight. So the inn is going to be somewhere where you're going to have your cooking trainer, and there's also going to be the place where your followers are, or where you can recruit followers. So it's going to be as an inn would be. People come to it and they have a drink, things like that. The trading post, I'd imagine, would be the sort of an auction house in your own base. Lumber mill, not too sure what they're going to do with that. And then obviously the pet stables is going to be where your pets, your battle pets are. Then there's also larger buildings, which is the barracks, the infirmary, the armory, the stables, the academy, mage tower. These are Warcraft 3 buildings, and they're the most important. So basically, these will do things that affect your base, such as like barracks will increase the amount of followers you can have. Armory will allow you to increase the item level, for example. I'm not too sure what that exactly will do. Or infirmary, you can get a perk that will allow you to resurrect once a day, or it'll increase the recovery rates of your followers. Now, every time a garrison grows, it'll gain new stats. So, for example, it would go from 10% to 15% gathering. So, as your garrison grows, it actually grows. You gaining benefits from it growing. Now, outside of that, you're not going to have all the buildings from sort of day one. Say, for example, when you make your garrison, you could have just the alchemy lab, the trading post, and the barracks, just as an example. To get the other recipes, you need to do things like quest rewards, or find them in the world, or do faction grinds to buy the recipes. And then once you get the recipe, you'll learn it, and then you'll have access to the designs to make the infirmary or the stables. Now, on top of that, buildings will have specs. So, for example, the armory could have a buff that increases your crit for 4 hours, and it'll persist through death. Or it could have a buff that increases attack power by 5%, and that'll persist through death. And you'll be able to change these at will, but there'll be some form of restriction. They don't want you to just sort of suddenly go over and be like, oh, okay, I want crit now. Alright, I want attack power. Okay, I want armor, It's not going to be like that. But you'll be able to change them maybe once a day for a gold penalty, or, there'll be some kind of restriction to that. But you'll be able to change them kind of at will. Now, on top of that, there is also offline progression. That means when you send a follower on a job, say you've sent a follower to go get you some transmog gear, or you've sent a follower to go do a quest. Say that quest takes 3 days for your follower to complete. If you don't log on for 3 days, your follower will still be doing that quest. You don't need to log on for him to continue doing it. He will just be doing it. He'll be zug-zugging his butt off, And when you log online 3 days later, he'll have completed the quest, and he'll be like, here's the loot, And that's that completed. So the types of things followers will be able to do, and how followers work. So you'll recruit your followers from the inn, and you'll be limited to how many you can have and things like that. And as you upgrade the base, your garrison, you'll improve how strong your followers are, the item level of the followers, the level, how many followers you can have, things like that. And then followers will be graded on rarity kind of thing, so how powerful they are. They'll be like a white, common kind of follower, green, blue, and purple. And obviously the purple followers, and maybe there's legendary, I don't know, but the purple followers will obviously be the more powerful, more stat heavy, maybe have some kind of perk that makes them better on most missions, that kind of thing. In terms of what you can get your followers to do, you can get them to do quests, dungeons, and raids. And these will be, you'll send them off, and it will take them quite a long time to do it, but they can get you epic rewards. They can do quests which are unique to them. They're not gonna be able to complete the game for you. So you need to do a quest in Frostfire Ridge. They won't be able to do that quest for you. They'll have their own unique quest that they can complete. So it's not gonna take anything away from your experience. It's just something additional that they can do. And you'll get quests that are unique to the buildings that you have unlocked as well. Say you've just unlocked the Tier 2 Armorer. There'll be a new Armory mission unlocked that you can send them on. And you can also send them to do raids, and as far as I'm aware, you can only send them to do old raids, and they can go and collect sort of transmog gear or things like that for you. Obviously, they might have a success rate on how high they'll have a chance of getting the gear, as if it was you doing it. And it will take them a longer time to do it. But say you don't have time, or you're going to go away for a week, so you're going to miss your chance to do the the eye for the week to get that cloak, then you can send them to do it for you. So the garrison is also like your own private area. If you've got a follower in the mine mining, you can go to the mine and you can see him in the mine working. Or if you've got one in the inn, you know, you can see him in the inn. It's all live and active, and you can walk around your own garrison. It is your own large private area. Now, on top of this as well, there'll be monuments and trophies. So, say for example, you unlock the achievement The Explorer. In your garrison, you'll have a big monument of you like holding a map open or something along those lines to show that you've achieved something pretty big. Or say for example, you kill a rare, you'll be able to place the rare's head in your monument as like a trophy. So that's going to be really cool. And then, as I mentioned before, the infirmaries will level and they'll have perks, and you'll be able to give it like a perk that allows you to res once a day, or gives you increased crit, or, you know, reduced durability for the day. Something along those lines that is just like a nice little perk. Isn't too game changing, but is something that will help you in the game, make, you know, quality of life. And as far as I know as well, you can set your hearth to your own garrison, so you can just hearth back to your own private area, essentially. And then in the future, they'll look towards doing the sort of guild garrisons and go from there. But overall, it seems like a really, really cool feature. And as I mentioned, as your garrison grows, when you complete, say there's 2 medium plots, 1 small plot, and 1 large, once you fill all those plots, your garrison will be able to be upgraded. So then, when it's stage 2, you might have 5 small, 3 medium, and 1 large. And then you upgrade to tier 3, and it could have like 2 large, 10 small, and 8 medium, you know? And it'll grow as you make it grow. And then you'll be able to add more of the cool perks and buildings into your armor. So as I said, there won't be enough space to put all of the buildings. You'll have to pick and choose which ones are more important to you, and sort of flex around that. So there you go, that's been a look at the garrisons, and as more information comes out, obviously this is just a brief preview of the garrisons. As more information comes out, I'll cover it as it goes along, but it seems like a really cool and fun idea. So if there's anything you want to know that I've not covered in the video that I forgot to mention, just leave a question, and if it's something they've covered, I'll get back as soon as I can with the response. So thanks for watching, guys. See ya!